Why should we exercise? Why can't we just sit on the couch all day long and channel surf?
Right. Well, we're actually geared in our genes. We're actually geared to sit on the couch and to eat the highest caloric food that we can have. And this is why I think we have the obesity crisis and the diabetes crisis today. And I really think that that's part of it. And but we have but these days we need to know that our coevolution of our culture has allowed us to be able to sit on the damn couch and to be sedentary much more than we've ever been in our lives. In my lifetime, I've seen these huge change and around the world. So it's not just here in the U.S. But we are seeing this problem with our sedentary lives, and so but we're geared to move as well. We're geared to move. We had to do both. We had to conserve our resources, our food resources, as well as we had to move to get them when we were hunter-gatherers, when our brains and our genes developed. So our brains evolved to help us be better movers, the best movers that we could be. And with that, eventually, when we added language, when we added social involvement, our 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 moving brain became our thinking brain and our interacting brain and our calculating brain, because we had to do that to move correctly and remember where and act what we're supposed to do, and to sequence our movements, and to remember what we shouldn't do. So we're made to move, and we need to pay attention to that. And exercise rewards us in so many ways when we move. Not just endorphins or our endogenous morphine, which people talk about from the early days of the Boston Marathon, when we can measure endorphins. And yes, they do go up, but they're only part of the story. We have all kinds of changes in the brain that occur to help us regulate our emotions and optimize our cognitive capacity. Simply said, we increase our use of more of our brain cells in exercising than we do in any other human activity. And what we know and what we've talked about now in neuroscience in the past 25 years or so, the brain is like our muscle. The brain is a muscle. The more we exercise it, the more we grow it. And when we don't exercise it, it goes fallow. It starts to erode. And this is the whole mantra, is to keep moving, keep going, keep going to new stuff, keep learning. And we know that this prevents the onset of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease, and all of that. But
Pause there for a second, if you could, John. Um, are you saying that? I mean, you're talking about movement cognitively, like doing crossword puzzles. Okay, you're also talking mainly about moving the body. As you know, it has been found that doing cognitive activity like crossword puzzles, learning a new language, etc., learning from you will actually help. Slow the onset of dementia, reduce the likelihood of it, etc. But you're talking about physical movement too. Are you saying that me getting on my treadmill, grinding away for half an hour, when I ought to, or walking around the neighborhood, a mile, an hour or two a day, are you saying that's going to also reduce the possibility of dementia for people?
oh, even more so than doing Sudoku or a crossword puzzles, even more so. The studies are very clear, okay? And the Mayo Clinic 3 years ago the Department of Neurology looked at over 1,600 papers looking at exercise and its effect on cognitive decline, cognitive preservation, Alzheimer's disease. 1,600 papers, all of them pointing to a positive effect of exercise in improving, even in the elderly, improving their cognitive capacity, not just keeping it, but making it 10 to 11% better.
So even if you were a couch potato in your 20s, 30s, 40s, who knows? Even in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you can get a benefit from being physically active.
Absolutely. And our body is geared to help you do that if you do it slowly. You don't want to join CrossFit tomorrow if you're a couch potato. You know, you're going to be at the orthopedic surgeons. But you can gradually, our body adapts just like our brain adapts. And yes, I mean, doing crossword puzzles and Sudoku and all that, that has some benefit, but not nearly as much as the benefit that we have when we move, when we're moving in space, when we're learning new things, when we're doing yoga, when we're even any kind of martial arts or the usual kind of exercise of running, swimming, climbing, playing games, and all of that, because you're using more cells because the brain evolved to make us better movers. And so the whole brain is much more engaged when you're moving and learning. And that's the ultimate when you're challenging yourself and moving. So running on the treadmill, eh, running outside up and down hills, or walking fast, uh, and observing and being mindful of where in the hell you're at, like we were as hunter gatherers. I mean, that is the ultimate tax on the brain, which helps it grow and helps it be vibrant.